Hello, race fans. It is time once again to show you one of the coolest sites in iRacing programming. This is the virtual Pennsylvania Speedweek race number 2 tonight. We are in the wonderful little town of Abbottstown, right near Gettysburg, as they call it. And we are here for race number 2. The track has just been opened up for hot laps, and the groups of guys go out onto the track to work it in a little bit, get ready to go, get a little practice in for tonight's race. This is, as said, race 2 of 6. Last time out, we saw the number 1 car of Tyler Schell take the victory. I had to think about it for a second there. Don't think he's here tonight. We have a different number 1 car in here. This is the 1X Mason Hannigan, who's actually fastest thus far in this time trial, or excuse me, this hot lap period. That's a nice camera angle. We'll take it. There are 38 drivers listed to show up for the race tonight. As we're watching a bunch of them just get through hot laps, there's George Wood coming to a slow now stop. Nathan Davis, who finished 3rd last night, behind him. Just checking in around the racetrack. Jimmy Barr, one of the hosts of this series. He's out of Danville. Had an okay night. He's running in the top 10 in points, and we can take a look at the top 10 in points. Once we get through this hot lap session, don't want to take away from the action out on track. Checking around the place. Brett Strickler, he races a real race car here occasionally. Not too great of a night last night. Had a little bit of a miscue. Got more or less run into and run over. That was a little chaotic and a lot of fun for everybody, but tonight, we'll see if it changes. William Hobart, Eric Whitner on the back stretch. New name right here, you can check this, number 54. John Batista, excuse me. Andrew May is here. Mason Hannigan, Mark Broderick. Trevor Royer is back. Corey Kerstetter is back. Craig Dunn. Bobby Blazer, Jack Young. Whole bunch of names as everybody's trying to get warmed up, work the track in a little bit. The iRacing platform, things aren't stellar with the iRacing platform when you first get into a session. A little too much grip in the track, but they work it in and make it look nice for us. We can skip between groups. We've got the hot laps groups out on the track in different segments. There's Ryan Scheit. He finished P2 last night, getting passed around the outside by Craig Dunn. Where's Dunn in the 57 car? In front of him is, well, not anymore, was Jack Young. We saw Tyler Schell, so he did get into the session. They're giving the guys a little bit of time here to join, get loaded up, get calibrated, and run some hot laps before we will get into the first piece of the program tonight, which is the time trials segment. And while we have a second, why don't we go ahead and take a little look at the point standings coming into this race tonight. After winning the first race of the week, Tyler Schell has 174 points to his name. Ryan Scheit in second with a second-place finish at 150, so that difference is present but not major. Nathan Davis is P3 as he got 3rd last night. Kevin Click had a good run. He finished 4th and is 4th in the standings. So that's basically how it goes the whole way down. Top 10 in the feature is the top 10 in points, as we've only run one race. What we see on the track right here, that is Tyler Schell, last time's winner, on the outside of Bryson Haw. Bryson Haw in the Rowdy Energy car, number 76. Haw has 10th on the order in hot laps. Schell, I have to check out where Tyler Schell is. He is 24th out of 30 who have put laps in. That's pretty far down the order, but he joined a little late, so we'll have to give him some time. I want to make a shout out to everybody watching. We'd love to hear from you, who you think's going to win, where you're watching from, what we're watching to see tonight, all of the goodies. Were you here last night? You're going to be here next Monday when we come back. Since we're coming up on the weekend, a lot of these guys have responsibilities to attend to at the local dirt track scene in central PA or around the country. So we will not be racing tomorrow night or Saturday or Sunday. We will be back on Monday evening to continue the virtual Pennsylvania Speedweek to the end of the 6 races left, the 4 races left of the 6. Track is closing, and that means everybody's coming off onto the pit road, which is not the real pit road in real life. It's maybe sort of mimicking what used to be pit road here at Lincoln Speedway a long time ago. So Mason Hannigan, the fastest in hot laps over, what is this, Alec Szerzynski? Then Jeremy Zarfos. I think I got that right. Szerzynski. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in that. Mark Broderick in 4th. Eric Whitner. I kind of know his son Ryan. Eric Whitner in 5th. Then it's Chris Fritz, David Smeal Jr., Andrew May, William Hobart, Bryson Haw. That is the top 10 in timed hot laps. And next up will be the time trials. So we'll wait on that one. We've got about the session. Where'd that number go? It disappeared on me. Oh, it's over here. We've got about 3 minutes left, so we'll take a minute to make a shout out to some of the partners of this Speedweek season. Jeremy Zarfos Photography, one of the presenting names of the Speedweek. Obviously, the virtual Pennsylvania Posse Discord, who put things together. The Turn 2 Terribles, you'll see that name on the side of, I would say, most of the cars in this field. Myself here with 47 Technology. Matt Faust on YouTube, a partner of the channel. B-Blaze Vintage, helping out with everything behind the scenes here to make this live stream possible to everybody. We got about 12 of you here, so welcome in. We are currently awaiting the session move. We're going through the time frame where they're going to do the drivers meeting. Just going to have it via the iRacing server. The officials will talk to the drivers, give them the lowdown on what's going on tonight. They'll remind the drivers that we're looking to talk to the top 3 of the feature at the end of the night, so they'll want to join into the Discord when the time comes, if necessary. And we're just kind of waiting on the move to the next session. And counting, 1, 2, 3, 33 drivers have showed up. There were 38 registered. Not sure if we're going to get the other 5 or not. We'll see as time goes on. We've got plenty of time to wait for them. Well, we've got about a minute left to wait for them. Somebody came out onto the track. I think it's Alex Szerzynski. That's a beautiful number 23 car. We're just screwing around a little bit. May as well follow it. Yep. That's about what happened to my mini fridge today. I was being a goofball, it got stuck open, and then the freezer part started condensating, and I tried to fix it by picking at it with like an ice pick kind of thing I made, or it was a screwdriver. Ice picking at it, and then I punctured the coolant line. That was absolutely phenomenal. Not my brightest moment, but rest in peace to my mini fridge. It lasted a good 6 years, and it did its time. So now it gets to lay in rest. Rest in peace to my mini fridge. Session is going to be cutting over momentarily. We've got about 3 seconds before we can expect it. And then we will keep up with our drivers. All right. Camera angle changed here, and that means we can turn on our ticker and get ready for qualifying. The first driver to come out onto the racetrack is going to be the driver of the 10N Maxim Chassis Baps Paints machine. This is Jack Young, the brother of Nicky Young, the uncle of Cole Young. We'll follow him 2 at a time, but we'll start with Jack. He's known as the Asian Sensation out of nearby Thomasville. Up to speed and on. Let's find out how fast that 10N is. He does not go to the top. The top spot is currently held by the number 17, Eric Whitner. We saw Whitner do pretty well last night and then have some poor luck come his way. This is car number 17, the Nitro Circus. Number 17 car comes past the line again. Will the second lap go better? It will not. 13.647 on that one. So Jack Young's second went better, though. He goes with a 13.488 over a 13.575. Next 2 cars out on the track. Let's start with, find him on the list. Is he here? Does not look like we have Benjamin Wirt. So let's jump to the 38S. This is the Bronco Billy's Whitecombs car out of York. Brett Strickler running up to the high side of the racetrack. His first lap time goes 16.780, not a great time at all, running way too high up on the track. And he is the only one of the two, as Benjamin Wirt is a no-show, at least for the moment. Strickler goes better, 13.926. Does not put him any higher up on the list, but it is better. Next 2 on the track. Oh, excuse me. Benjamin Wirt went out a little late there. Car number 14, and he gets a lap in, 14.045. Next 2 on the track, starting him off, the number 65. And the number 19. This is Corey Kerstetter, the M9 Motorsports number 19. Kind of similar to a Brent Marks car, but it is not a Brent Marks car. He jumps to 6th. Will he go better on this lap? He does. He goes to 3rd quick. Check in with the other driver on the track. This is car number 65, Chris Fritz. Chris Fritz now putting in his second lap time, puts himself 4th. Corey Kerstetter going to come to the line again. Does not go better. So next up is the name that we were checking out how to say earlier. Car number 23. This is Alec Szerzynski. Alex Szerzynski into turns 3 and 4. Nice little spec map on this car, making it shiny. Szerzynski did not race with us last night. This is his debut of Virtual Speedweek 2023. On the clock now. That warm-up lap is counting for a lap time, even though it shouldn't. So lap number 1 for Szerzynski, going to be a 13.6 flat, puts him in 3rd place. And let's check in with the second car out on track, the runner-up from last night, as his first goes 4th quick. This is Ryan Scheit in the UDTV number 10 car. To the line again, tight in the middle of the corner, and passed again as Szerzynski goes 2nd quick. Ryan Scheit improves but stays in 4th. So following Scheit and Szerzynski, we are going to see Bryson Haw in car number 76. Rowdy Energy on the top for Bryson. White rims, and he's running the way top side of the racetrack. Other car out on the track with him is going to be the number 15 of Michael Sheridan. We'll check with Haw as he goes through 1 and 2, and we'll skip over here. The M&M Painting and Construction, Baps Paints, Jeremy Zarfos Photography, Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel Machine. Michael Sheridan puts in his first lap, 13.659, so puts himself 4th. Haw is 8th as it stands. Nice turn for the number 15 car. Does he go better? He does not. So he will stay in 4th at this moment. Up next, representing Greenfield, Indiana, or excuse me, Pittsburgh, Indiana. It's not close there. The 1X, this is Mason Hannigan The son of Randy Hannigan puts his first lap up on the board as he comes out of turn number 4. This will go 13.559. It will put him at third place. The other driver out on track right now, driving the number 19, turn 2 Terribles, Jeremy Zarfos Photography, Babs Paints, Fredericksburg, Eagle Hotel, number 19, Jeremy Zarfos. Jeremy Zarfos, 9th quick, doesn't go better. Well, he goes better, but not on the leaderboard for his second lap. Up next is set to be Alex Robinson and Rylan Gray. Let's try to find those two. They are not. I don't think either of them are here. And we skip in the order to these two. We start with the number 11 car. This is George Wood, one of the curators of this event this week. The Dallas Sporting Goods, Big Ass Fans, Woody's Custom Lures, number 11. And alongside of him for this session, or this duo, I should say, is the number 13 car of William Hobart in the Turn 2 Terribles, Jeremy Zarfos Photography car. He's 9th quick. George Wood, 14th out of 14, with 2 laps in the 14.3s. Not what he wanted. Up next, we're looking for Mr. Rocky. Let's see if he is out here. Do not see Bill Rocky, so let's check in with the number 31 car of Andrew May. Andrew May in car number 31, High Performance Lubricants, Babs Paints on the side, M&M Pitting and Construction out of Bedford. Lap number 1 goes in, and he gets a 13.868 out of it. The other car out on track, the 222 machine, Dano's Wicked Brands on the side. This is Weston Newell. Weston Newell had a rough night last night. Ups and downs, got involved in a couple accidents. Andrew May out-qualifies him, goes 5th quick. Newell will stay in P7. Next duo to come out is going to include, I don't think we have Dakota Kuhn out there. Let's try to find them. No, we don't have Dakota Kuhn. So this is going to be Tyler Schell, last night's winner, car number 1. He puts in a lap, jumps himself to 9th. The other car out on track, a little bit further back on the track here, Ken Baum Jr., the First Watch Project Zero, Jeremy Zarfos Photography Machine. Ken Baum Jr., currently 10th. Will he go better on his second lap? No, he will not. So he will stay P10. And a couple no-shows in the order. Now, this guy's not a no-show. He's right here. He's scored as the 21. Don't be mistaken. This is car number 17. And this is Tyler Isley making his debut for the week. Tyler Isley is joined out on track by, should be the number 27. It is David Smeal Jr., the Turn 2 Terribles Fanatec machine. Jeremy Zarfos Photography on the side. David Smeal had a fairly good night last night. It's okay. Smeal jumps to 11th quick. Tyler Isley, his best lap was his was his second. 13.905, 17th quick on the order. Up next, car number 20. Representing Gilbertsville, this is Austin Medea. And alongside of him is Lance DeWeese's son, who we'll check in with in a second here. Medea is going to come to the line, see what kind of time we post. 13.787 for him should put him in 14th place. And Cole DeWeese goes 17th. This is the 2D machine. Recognizable name from the microsprint scene and races around now. Wouldn't be surprised to see him moving up through the ranks over the years. Cole DeWeese goes P9 on his second lap. Next duo hosts a driver from York in the B-Blaze Vintage Running Racing's Designs car. This is Bobby Blazer. Bobby Blazer in car number 90 out of York, Pennsylvania. Other car out on the track from Ontario, Ohio, as Blazer goes by. Let's check in with the 25C of Kevin Click. Puts up his first lap time. That's going to be a 13.955. Not quick at all. Bobby Blazer, 13.971. Try it again. No, that's not going to do it. Slow in the middle of the corner. Oh, he actually did go faster. 13.836 puts him 18th quick. Blazer slower on his second lap. Not going to move up. So 22nd for Blazer, 18th for Kevin Click. The next duo out on the track should be the number 36 car of Nathan Davis, who was on the podium last night. UDTV Black Diamond on the side of this one, running the top side. The other car out on track is just a bit up the ways in front of him, making his debut with virtual PA Speedweek tonight in car number 54 and jumping all the way to 11th, John Batista. Batista running the high line. Everybody seems to be running the high line. Nathan Davis goes 12th quick. Second lap goes in. Not better for Batista. Will it be better for Davis? No, it will not. Just a tad bit slower for the both of them. And neither will improve, so they are 11th and 12th as it currently stands. Next duo on the track should be the number 76. There it is. Coors Glens out of New Jersey. James Tenorelli puts his first lap down, or his opening lap down. Tenorelli, a.k.a. Jim Tortellini, or Jim Spaghetti, whatever works. He's joined out on track by one of the strongest drivers from last night's show, as he goes 18th quick. Here's Ernie Williams Jr., UDTV Black Diamond, ABR setup shops on the side of this yellow and purple number 91. 22nd on the grid with his first lap, trying to run the inside line. Will it do him favors? Tenorelli's second lap was slower. Ernie Williams, same deal. 22nd. That is a far back starting position. And now here's a guy that I got a little ahead of myself. I thought he was coming out next. And it is the number 57 car coming to us is Craig Dunn, opening lap in, and he's on the clock. The car behind him is also on the clock from Allentown, car number 94, the Hyper Racing sponsored machine, as Craig Dunn goes 13.838, goes 22nd. Tyler Schell is going to put up a 14.023 to start things off. Hoosier tire on the front. Running the middle line. Oh. Craig Dunn with a great lap time. File improves to 27th on the grid. Craig Dunn all the way to 7th. Nice run for him. And we come to the next duo on track. We'll start the UDTV number 90. Had a great run last night. Unfortunately caught up in lap traffic and hitting the wall on his out lap, or his first timed lap, excuse me, is Trevor Royer. Royer with the gold rims. The other car out on track as Royer's first lap going to be invalidated. Jimmy Barr in the Turn 2 Terribles number 12. Jimmy Barr out of Danville. Second lap in, 12.060. That's not right. It's a 13.990. There it is. Trevor Royer puts up a 13.750, goes 13th quick. Not stellar, but not terrible. Next duo on the track should be the last duo on the track. If we get them out here. I don't see the 51 car, but we do have another 17. This is Jordan Martin. He did not run with us last night. Silver and black, a very simple car. He's on the clock. First lap in the book, 14.167. Good enough for 32nd out of 33. Still kicking it sideways a bit. And through 3 and 4 one more time. Let's see what we got. 14.025 improves one singular spot to to 31st. We have one car left. Did not qualify. Waiting to see if he will. Mark Broderick is the name. Race and sprint cars should be the game, except we aren't. And I think it's pretty safe to say, unless we see him come out onto the track in due time here, that what we've got is the fastest hot laps driver being the first one out on the racetrack. The 10N from Thomasville is Jack Young. Alex Szerzynski in second. Mason Hannigan from Pittsburgh, Indiana, P3. Eric Whitner, P4. Andrew May, P5. Michael Sheridan, P6. Craig Dunn, P7. Weston Newell in the 222 8th. Ryan Scheidt still inside that top 10. And Cole DeWeese is 10th. First one's outside, Tyler Schell, John Batista, and Trevor Royer. We are going to have 4 heat races tonight. Should be ranging between, 9 and 8. That would work. And we'll take 5 from each heat race. They will invert first and third on the starting grid of each of the heat races. So when we have our starting grids come up, we'll have to be cognitive about that. They will invert the leader. And hey, look at that. Let's go get them. Starting grid for the first heat race of the night. Your pole sitter from third to first as they invert will be the driver out of Bedford in car number 31, Andrew May. Starting beside him will be the number 10 of Ryan Scheidt. We're going to have to watch out for that 10 car. Trevor Royer will start third in the number 90 machine. And Jack Young, well, wait a minute. That inverted itself for him to be in fourth place. David Smeal Jr. will start P5. William Hobart, P6 in the 13. Bryson Haw, the Rowdy Energy number 76 in 7th. Bobby Blazer out of York will start P8. And George Wood will tag the tail and round him out for the first heat race of the night. So they come down the back chute. We will get to see the 1 to go signal from the flag stand. Andrew May up front. And that's a beautiful sight to see. I love that 90 car. Bobby Blazer's car looks good. Well done by Runnings Racing's designs. All right. Green flag to come out. Green is out. Heat race number 1, 8 laps. Let's get it. May slides up to the top of the racetrack. Trevor Royer tried to block the run from the 10 car of Ryan Scheidt. Didn't work. Jack Young still sitting there. And David Smeal Jr. trying to make some noise. He's in the final transfer spot. He'd like to do a little better because he's getting hustled by William Hobart. They spread out a little bit further back. And the race for the lead is on. Royer to the bottom. They're 3 wide off the corner. Scheidt in the middle. Now he goes to the top. Andrew May leads him into the corner. Trevor Royer will lead them out of the corner. The momentum to the 31. Contact made into turn number 3. Everybody gets away from each other. Slide job, City from the 31 car and past the line again. 5 laps to go. Just repaying the favor back and forth over and over. Has let Jack Young get involved in this, but a little bit of a check from the other 10 car in this heat. Scheidt cuts across the nose. Trevor Royer leads into turn number 1. A little bit more confidently this time. We'll go back and check out what's going on. 5th place is David Smeal Jr. and 6th is a nice battle between Bryson Haw and William Hobart. But that's a battle for a position outside the transfers as we've eclipsed halfway for the first heat race of the night. Big slider from William Hobart. Checking with the front end of the grid. Royer's got a lot of company, and they're getting into each other there. Contact made. Royer drops from 1st to 3rd in turn 4 as Scheidt goes inside. May went outside. And now they lead the way down the backstretch with a lap and a half to go. White flag this time. Scheidt's the one who gets to see it first. Into the corner, Jack Young with a big send. Puts the 90 car of Trevor Royer into the wall. He gets passed for fourth. As they come out of turn number 4, Ryan Scheidt is going to win the heat race over Andrew May, Jack Young, David Smeal Jr., and Trevor Royer. The final transfer from the first heat race. Hobart, Blazer Haw, and George Wood on the outside will go to the B main. Time for the next 4. Starting grid will look like so. From third to first is going to be the number 15 car, mimicking a Brent Marks machine, but black and green is Michael Sheridan. Second will be Cole DeWeese in the 2D car representing Pennsylvania. And then third is going to be the Hoosier, Nathan Davis. Fourth for Alex Szerzynski, second fastest qualifier tonight. Corey Kerstetter will start 5th, and Jeremy Zarfos will start 6th in the number 19 car. Tyler Isley in his first showing, he's out of Ohio, he will go from 7th. Jimmy Barr from Danville goes 8th, and Mark Broderick did not put a qualifying time up, so he will go from 9th on the tail of this one. We'll wait to see if we can get a nice look at that 51 car. The paint scheme, there it is, comes in. Wow. Got a lot of Fredericksburg Eagle Hotel and Babs Paints and M&M Construction and all that. A lot of Brent Marks homage out here. The leaders got it too. So Nathan Davis got a podium last night. Corey Kerstetter had a challenging night. Jimmy Barr ended up in the top. I believe he was either 5th or 6th last night. Cole DeWeese was not here. Alex Szerzynski was not here. Jeremy Zarfos had a tough evening, to say the least. Tyler Isley was not here, and Mark Broderick was not here. That's the lineup of 9. 8 more laps. Heat race number 2. The pace truck pulls off the track. We are in the hands of Michael Sheridan, as he will bring them to the backstretch into turn number 3. And let's try to see if we can get a nice little shot of the rifling off the corner. Green's out. Let's get it. Ooh, somebody's going around, I think, in the back there. It is Broderick, actually, is okay. Kerstetter and Isley racing with each other. Up front, it is Michael Sheridan. Cole DeWeese gets a nice run off the top side, putting a little pressure on the 15 car. Nathan Davis just sitting, minding his P's and Q's, looking for opportunities, but not going to do anything crazy. Slider from the bottom to the top from Sheridan. Cole DeWeese uses momentum to get around him. There's your top 4 running nose to tail into turn number 3 and out of turn number 4. Last transfer spot right now, held by Jimmy Barr, but he's got company in the form of Jeremy Zarfos. Halfway this time. Still got a little bit of a lead there. Zarfos tries the bottom again. We're running in a train from 1st to 4th. DeWeese, Sheridan, Davis, and Szerzynski. Cole DeWeese leads the way. They're fanning out a little bit. Everybody's trying a little bit different line through the corners, maybe seeing if they can find an advantage or to just keep it clean. Zarfos tried to send it in there in turns 1 and 2. It didn't work. He had to get out of the throttle, and that allowed Jimmy Barr to get the momentum back around the outside of him. But they're side by side out of turn number 4 as we've got 2 to go. Now they're catching Szerzynski as well. And Zarfos makes the pass. That's a pass for the transfer as the white flag comes out this time. DeWeese has things in control at the front. Zarfos makes the inside line work pretty well as he's gotten into 5th and will now challenge for 4th. As through 3 and 4, your leader's coming. That's a battle for 4th, not for the transfer. Oh, he slips up a little bit. Cole DeWeese wins. Jeremy Zarfos has to slam the door on Jimmy Barr to keep himself in a transfer spot, and he does. So it will go DeWeese, Sheridan, Davis, Szerzynski, and Zarfos making the transfers from heat race number 2. Heat race number 3 coming at you next. Starting from the pole, we will flip them, and it will be out of Australia, the number 57 of Craig Dunn. Starting second will be the 1 car he won last night, fitting for the number 1. That's Tyler Schell. Starting third in the group is going to be the number 20 machine of Austin Medea. Austin Medea in car number 20, starting to the inside of the number 1X of Mason Hannigan out of Pittsburgh, Indiana. I keep wanting to say Greenville. That's not right. Starting 5th is going to be Chris Fritz in the 65 machine, then Kevin Click in the 25C from Ontario, Ohio to be exact. Brett Strickler in the 38 machine. He will roll from 7th, and 8th place is going to be the newbie to the grouping, Jordan Martin. Scored as the number 9, but he is running with a Custom Trading Paints Pro machine number 17. That's your starting grid. 8 drivers in 8 laps. The next heat race will also have 8 drivers. 2 number 1 cars up at the front end here. Mason Hannigan following Tyler Schell. Craig Dunn in the 57 on the inside. He's going to lead us. Austin Medea will go from 3rd. All right, let's see what we got. Austin Medea's got some fans out here in the chat. Let's hear it. Let's go. 8 laps the distance. 3 miles to decide who transfers. Contact made, and big contact into the wall on the outside of the track for Kevin Click. What a tough break for him. Yellow does not come out for him. He's got to reset that car. Jordan Martin fell back a lot there. Big contact. Medea was involved in that. Whoa, look out, the leaders all over the place. He's got 2 number 1 cars hustling him. That's Craig Dunn. In the 57, he slides up in front of Mason Hannigan, and Tyler Schell will slip through on the inside. Hannigan now going to go to the bottom. Try to make it around that 57 car. Brett Strickler in the mix. Contact made. Strickler, big-time contact with the 57 car. Brett, you got to stay off these guys. Making contact last night in his heat race. He got into something in the B main, too. Strickler moves into 3rd temporarily, at least, as we hit halfway in this heat race. It is Schell, Hannigan, Strickler, or now Craig Dunn has made it back around the outside. And then we've got a nice battle for 5th place. Chris Fritz and Austin Medea, they are battling for the transfer spot right now. This is Fritz in the black car with the unmarked top wings. Medea with a nice carbon machine with orange and blue highlights. Tyler Schell leading the way, still 2 to go this time. Picking up right where he left off last night, but Mason Hannigan's keeping him honest. Medea makes a pass for 5th in the back here a little bit. Will he be able to hold that? As the white flag comes out, the 2-1 cars lead us to it. We're still side by side at the line for the transfer. Slide from Chris Fritz as Tyler Schell will come around to take the checkered. Mason Hannigan right in 2nd place, Strickler 3rd, Craig Dunn 4th, and 5th is going to go to Chris Fritz. Medea lost that spot in turns 1 and 2 and couldn't get it back. Tyler Schell with the heat race win. And that brings us to our 4th and final heat race of the evening. Let's check it out. We start with the flip-flop. The pole is going to be the 222 machine of Weston Newell. Weston Newell in the 222 will start aside John Batista, who's making his first start of the week with us out of Ohio. Starting 3rd will be Ken Baum Jr. in car number 22K out of Newville, PA, with the Take-Two Motorsports car. And starting 3rd is going to be Eric Whitner in car number 17. Starting 5th is going to be James Tenorelli out of New Jersey. They call him Jim Spaghetti or Jim Tortellini. He's going to roll off aside the number 91 of Ernie Williams Jr., who was oh so strong last night, and then just caught up in some stuff that happened with the back markers. Couldn't get around it. Williams goes from 6th. Last row on the grid. Out of Allentown, the Hyper Racing Hoosier Tire number 94 is Tyler File. And on his outside in the Mobile 1 number 14, representing Pennsylvania as well as pretty much everybody, the Napa as on it on the top wing, Benjamin Wirt. 1 to go signal given last time by. Ken Baum Jr. inverted with the other car with 2 2s on it, the other being the 222 of Weston Newell, who will be in charge of bringing us to the green flag. Through 3 and 4, top side, they'll cut in, and 8 more laps of heat racing action tonight. First lap goes to Mr. Newell. And a lot of racing going on right behind him. Batista holding in the outside line now catches up. Whoa, contact, and we've got one gone. Up into the top side and all the way to the back of the group. John Batista, big contact with the wall. He gets it back going, but that car's definitely got damage. Yep, no steering for the 54 car. Oh, we got another one. We got another issue going on back here. Weston Newell involved in an incident. Loses the front wing. Ernie Williams Jr. has jumped all the way up to first. What a race car. From 6th place. Stayed clean and had a fast machine. Williams will lead us to the halfway point. He's doing ABR Setup Shop some favors, making him look good as James Tenorelli holds 2nd place over Tyler Schell, Ken Baum Jr. Benjamin Wirt has cycled back up into a transfer spot just by staying out of trouble. Tenorelli on the top side. He's in 2nd place. Tyler Schell right there in the white, number 94. That's 3rd. 4th place, Ken Baum Jr. started 3rd. And in 5th place, Benjamin Wirt. He's got Eric Whitner right behind him, though. And we'll stay with this one for a minute as the white flag's going to come out. Whitner is faster in the middle of the corners. What's he going to do to try to get around that 14 car? Kind of missed the bottom a little bit as Ernie Williams Jr. is going to come. Oh, contact with the inside wall is going to let James Tenorelli slide through and take the heat race win. Williams 2nd, Schell 3rd, Ken Baum 4th, and Benjamin Wirt does hold on to the 5th and final transfer spot. Tenorelli, Williams, Schell, Baum, Wirt, and then Eric Whitner, the first one out. Whitner, Newell, and Batista also on the outside looking in. Next up, 14 drivers will take to the track for 12 laps, and we will try out the B main. Starting from the pole of the B main in car number 13, turn 2 terribles on the side. This is William Hobart. To his outside also has turn 2 terribles on the car, fitting the number 12 of Jimmy Barr from Danville. Starting 3rd, Austin Medea in the carbon fiber with orange and blue trim, number 20. And Eric Whitner will start to his outside in 4th place as the first car to not transfer from the 4th heat race of the night. Bobby Blazer in car number 90, the B-Blaze Vintage machine, goes 5th. And Mark Broderick will go from 6th place in his first race of the week. Jordan Martin in his first race of the week goes 7th, and Weston Newell is in P8 to start. Bryson Haw, car number 76, goes 9th. Corey Kerstetter in the M9 Motorsports machine goes 10th. Starting 11th in the B main is going to be Kevin Click in the 25C. Got involved in an incident in his heat race. John Batista starts 12th. George Wood in the 11 car goes 13th, and 14th will be Tyler Isley. 3 of the 4 last starters in the B main here from Ohio. Get everybody back up and running here. Hobart will see the 1 to go signal this time. Jimmy Bard was outside. Austin Medea and Eric Whitner are the 2 other guys, along with the front row, that are starting this one inside of a transfer position. But they've got 12 laps to try to hold back the likes of Mark Broderick, Weston Newell, Bobby Blazer, Bryson Haw, Corey Kerstetter, the rest of the group at the tail. It's only a matter of time before we find out who can take it. Green flag this time, and we're racing. Hobart with a great jump on the rest of them. Barr, Medea, and Whitner all grouped up into turn number 1 that time. Blazer's right there as the field spreads out behind him. Got battles all over the racetrack. We're checking in more towards the back. A little bit of contact there. I think Isley's going to get into the wall. He does. George Wood backing off a little bit. 217 cars at the tail from Ohio. We got a battle going on for the transfer. Blazer trying to make some time up. Whitner also trying to do the same. Yellow's out. Yellow flag is out. Weston Newell might have been involved in this one. I think he was. Or no. Oh, no. This happened while we were slowing down on the back straightaway. Jimmy Barr and Austin Medea make contact. Let's check a replay out on that one. We got to hit this button. All right. So I guess let's check with Newell. Yep, Newell stuck in the wall. That's what caused the yellow. And then the yellow lights come on. Whitner just didn't slow up quite quick enough. He runs into the back of Jimmy Barr, who gets into Medea. Blazer pretty significantly involved. Mark Broderick involved as well. That's tough. Medea not going to line back up. Bobby Blazer, Mark Broderick, they're probably going to have damage, so this might be interesting to see what happens next. And William Hobart, who's been pretty much in the clear for this B main event, is now going to have to control another restart. 3 laps down, 9 more to go. Bobby Blazer in second, one of the partners of this channel and this week. B-Blaze Vintage on the side of it. Mark Broderick right behind him in the number 51 machine. And then he's got Bryson Haw right there. Haw has been gifted a transfer as well as Broderick. They moved in with the misfortune of Medea and Jimmy Barr, who I think Barr's rejoined the racetrack and Medea has not. Green flag comes back out again. Hobart with a great restart. He is way off on his own as the rest of the field piles in together in turns 1 and 2. Broderick through the inside. Kevin Click through on the inside. Blazer into the wall is going to let a lot of cars through, and that was not what Bobby Blazer needed. Big time battle going on for transfer spots right here. Haw in the 76 car is the 4th car in the running order. He's got Whitner and John Batista to his outside trying to make time up themselves. Kevin Click missed the bottom a little bit. Allows the 17 and 76 to catch up. Oh, look out. Coming in a little hot there is Bryson Haw. And around the outside, Eric Whitner might be able to use this to his advantage and make some time up. He gets himself into the top 4, and he's looking for 3rd now on Kevin Click. So Click goes to being the final transfer, at least for the moment. Batista trying to get around the outside. Will take it from him. Whitner. Oh, 3 wide. Look out. Kevin Click goes to the inside of Mark Broderick. Big time slider from Batista. Oh, and big contact for Whitner, not looking where he was going. Running straight into Mark Broderick, and he's all out of whack now. And he drops all the way back. Bryson Haw will reclaim the 4th and final transfer spot. And around the outside of Kevin Click he goes, put himself into 3rd. Broderick just got completely run into right there from the side, and now he's in 5th, and he gets way up into the wall, and that might do him in, as there's only 2 laps left in this one. Bobby Blazer pulls off as they come with a lap and a half to go. Haven't really checked in on our leader, William Hobart. No trouble for him as the white flag comes out. He's just had to stay clear, and he has done that very easily. Batista's put a little gap for himself. Bryson Haw and Kevin Click aren't too far apart, but they don't really have any contention from Mark Broderick. As through the final set of corners, William Hobart's going to take the B main, take the first spot in the B main over John Batista. Bryson Haw, Kevin Click is the final transfer. And the first one out, Mark Broderick. Then Tyler Isley, Corey Kerstetter, Jordan Martin, George Wood, Bobby Blazer, Eric Whitner, Jimmy Barr, Austin Medea, and Weston Newell. Next up is a warm-up session that they're going to use to check in on the track and set everybody up. They will buzz the place, those who will be starting our A main tonight. Got about 16 people here watching with us. We appreciate your support of the virtual Pennsylvania Speed Week. It's been a blast to take part. of, and we're only one race in. The redraw order has been set. So the redraw for the starting spots of the A main come from the winner and the fastest qualifier of each of our heat races tonight. So that makes 8, unless they're the same person. And with that being said, the redraw order will start off the first 4 rows of the grid. Drawing the pole in the 10N from Thomasville is going to be the first and fastest qualifier of tonight, Jack Young. Starting second in his first race with us is going to be Alec Szerzynski. Starting third will be the 1X from Pittsboro, Indiana, Mason Hannigan, the son of Randy Hannigan. Starting to his outside in the 22K will be Ken Baum Jr. Starting in fifth is going to be the runner-up from last night, Ryan Scheidt. And starting sixth will be the 2D, the son of Lance. This is Cole DeWeese. Last night's winner, Tyler Schell, will go from the inside of row number 4 in 7th. And 8th is going to see the driver from New Jersey, Jim Tenorelli. And the rest of the order will be set based off of their finishing positions in the heat races. So this is the car in line. There's Mason Hannigan in front. He will be starting third. And Alex Szerzynski in the blue car here. You see him lining up beside Hannigan, getting ready to go out for a quick warm-up session. Alex Szerzynski. Not quite sure what we're doing here. Lining up, getting ready to go, I guess. Just waiting. I see Chris Fritz and Andrew May back here. May out of Bedford. Fritz out of... let's double check on where Chris Fritz is from. Newark, Delaware is where Chris Fritz hails out of. Brett Strickler rolls up to the line out of York. Tyler Schell in that number 1 car. Everybody getting ready to go. Check in on another group of cars. Is anybody else out on the track? Craig Dunn getting ready to go. Oh, excuse me. I got a little ahead of myself. Those 8 drivers that we listed were the drivers who were in the redraw. Pardon me. That was not the redraw order. The redraw starting order will have the 22K of Ken Baum Jr. from the pole. Mason Hannigan will be to his outside in the 1X. Row 2 will see Jim Tenorelli and Tyler Schell. Row 3, Ryan Scheidt and Cole Young. And row 4 will be Cole DeWeese and Alex Szerzynski. So unfortunately for Szerzynski, I got a little ahead of myself. He's starting in the back of the redraw cars, but he's in the redraw. Or he was. My mistake. We're getting there. We'll figure it out one of these days. We've been chilling for a couple minutes here waiting for the track to open up, and just as I say it, the first few set themselves on the racetrack. I think we might have got a little ahead of ourselves there, actually. Trying to familiarize ourselves with these cars. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. You wouldn't believe it. And there is the end of the warm-up session. As the checkered flag came out, they didn't put anybody out on track. And now it's time to bring you the A main of the evening, 30 laps on the docket. Let's check our starting grid for the race tonight. Why are we starting with 11th? Can we go back? Here we go. And starting from the pole, as we mentioned, with the redraw results, it will not be Ryan Scheidt. It will be Ken Baum Jr. To his outside, the 1X of Mason Hannigan, representing Pittsboro, Indiana. Starting on the second row, Jim Tenorelli will go from third, and Tyler Schell will go from fourth. Starting 5th is going to be Ryan Scheidt. He's listed as the pole sitter. That's not correct. And then Jack Young will be starting alongside of him in 6th place out of Thomasville. Cole DeWeese in the 2D will go from 7th, and Alex Strzezinski in 8th place. Starting from position number 9 will be the number 15 of Michael Sheridan, and starting in 10th is going to be Ernie Williams Jr. 11th should be Nathan Davis rather than being in 10th place. Starting in 11th will be Brett Strickler. 12th, he'll be in 12th. Tyler File, 12th. 13th. David Smeal, 14th. We'll get this eventually. Craig Dunn, 15th. Ken Baum Jr., 6th. No, that's not right either. Trevor Royer, 17th. You know what? We'll deal with this another time. It's a little confusing because things happen inside of the game and then they happen outside of the game. But we know that it's Ken Baum Jr. from the front. Mason Hannigan will start aside of him, and the green flag's coming to us with 30 laps. The most exciting part of the night, the beginning of the feature race, is on. And Ken Baum Jr. leads us into turn number 1. Cole DeWeese gets a little botched up here. Falls back a couple spots. And the first lap's going to get done. Mason Hannigan leads the way. Then it's Schell, Baum, Young, Tenorelli, Strzezinski. Now Scheidt gets around. Strzezinski contact there. That's Scheidt going around and into the wall. And he's going to drop all the way to the back. That is not what Ryan Scheidt wanted to see. Mason Hannigan into turns number 3 and 4. He's got Tyler Schell right behind him. Jack Young, oh my goodness gracious. We got cars crashing. We got a crash. Crash. Big pile up. Oh, it's the big one at Talladega. Yellow flags are out. Goodness gracious. We're going to check this out for a second as everybody gets going the right direction. Ernie Williams Jr. involved again. Second night in a row he's been involved in an accident. And let's go back. Bump, bump, bump. I believe this is going to start with Michael Sheridan and Andrew May. So we'll follow along with Sheridan into turn number 3. And Tenorelli's up high. Sheridan actually just gets run into by May. And May is going to then collect Ernie Williams Jr. Scheidt got a piece of that. David Smeal Jr., William Hobart, Mr. Dunn, Craig Dunn, Bryson Haw, Batista. I see Tyler File back there. A lot of cars involved. In the first yellow of the evening, we got 3 laps in. So they will realign, re-rack, restack. Mason Hannigan had the lead. Be interesting to see what happens now that he is going from the pole position alone. Tyler Schell going to have a better starting position this time as well. 2 number 1 cars leading. Then it's Jack Young. How about that? Hannigan, Schell, Young, Baum. Strzezinski is in P5. Timing and scoring giving us a little bit of a miscue there. And Tenorelli in P6, trying to figure out who was behind Mr. Strzezinski. I think we got the one to go this time, so this will be the restart. There's Mason Hannigan in the 1X as he will lead them down the back straightaway, and we will get ready to restart the 410s. Going to have 5 down at the line. Will the driver from Indiana upset tonight? As we're back to it. Check out the rest of them going through. Whole field comes past, looks clean to this point. Back at it again with Mason Hannigan leading the way. Tyler Schell trying to figure out a line that'll work for him. Look at Brett Strickler making the bottom side work right now, and he moves himself into the 6th spot. Maybe knocking on the door for a top 5 tonight. Could see it. Nice placement of that left rear. Mason Hannigan's put about 0.6 of a second in between himself and Tyler Schell. Schell holding on to second over Jack Young. Go check out that 10N car. Szerzynski has made the pass for 4th, and Brett Strickler might be trying to look for a pass to 5th place. Ken Baum Jr. losing spots here as Hannigan's trying the bottom of the racetrack. Schell staying kind of committed to the top. Only a third of the way into this race at this point. Looks like we've got issues for Andrew May at the back end of that group. Nice battles going on in the mid-pack. Let's check in. Whoa, look out for Tenerelli. He loses a spot or two as he couldn't keep the car pointed straight down the front stretch. 3rd place from last night and 2nd place from last night right there behind him. They're trying to work their way up through the field. That is Ryan Scheidt on the inside. Nathan Davis right there as well. 3 wide in the middle of turn number 2. This is a fight for 8th place. And maybe some contact there. Up front, staying the same. The first battle on the racetrack is this one, the 38 of Brett Strickler and the 22K of Ken Baum Jr. Strickler going to try a slider. It works, and he's got himself into the top 5. Will it last? Let's find out. Baum tried to look for the inside. Strickler didn't let him have it. Cole DeWeese catching the both of them now. Into turns 3 and 4. DeWeese is really catching them. Couple spots behind that. Battle going on still with Tenerelli. Trevor Royer, who was fast last night. Things didn't happen to go his way, but he's in the picture for a top 10 right now. He just moves into 10th place over Tenerelli. Bryson Haw on the outside of that group, watching the fight from 10th to 12th. Ryan Scheidt right in front. We'll see if they catch him. And look who's turned it up a notch. Cole DeWeese in the 2D car. DeWeese slides up to the top of the track to defend against Ken Baum Jr. Brett Strickler has cleared them for 5th pretty far and away. Lap traffic becoming a factor. Just Andrew May thus far, though. I'd say Tyler Schell reeled him in a little bit, cut the lead into half of what it was last time we mentioned it, and getting all the way down into 0.2 of a second between Mason Hannigan and Tyler Schell. Schell sends it in a little deeper in turn 1 to try to make the time up. He's trying to go as far up to the top as he can, find a line to put some momentum down. Jack Young did a great job getting through 3 and 4 that time, and they're both catching Hannigan, but Jack Young definitely going to start having an opportunity here. We're watching the top 3. Lap traffic coming closer, but not quite there. Big battles right here. Bryson Haw starting to make noise. Kevin Click right there on his outside. 2x2 down the front straightaway with Tenerelli and Batista behind them. 11th through 14th in a 2x2 formation. And then Craig Dunn and Chris Fritz watching from afar. Back to the front. The gap's been widened out a bit. Mason Hannigan leads still. The top 5 pretty much staying stationary with 10 laps to go now. Everybody pretty much, as this group is still the most exciting piece of racing on the track. The real estate in the middle of the track. Oh, here we go. Contact and a slide. Batista into the inside wall. We stay green. He loses a couple spots. Smeal took the opportunity to get around File and Zarfos as well. Or excuse me, not File, Hobart. And there's your leaders coming up on the back of this group. So let's check in with the guy who's not having a great race there. Oh, we got contact. We got cars wrecking. Yellows. Kevin Click, excuse me. I think Zarfos involved in that one. We know that Craig Dunn was involved. Replay coming to you. All right. We're watching from the 25C. Kevin Click get into the top side wall. Way out of whack. Tenorelli makes contact. He stays okay. Can't get it woed down. Craig Dunn has nowhere to go. Into the 25C. And then back across the track. Tagged again. Contact further with Chris Fritz. Zarfos nowhere to go. The big contact, the big damage goes to the 25C and the 57. I think Zarfos probably okay. Minimal damage for Chris Fritz as well. That's the first yellow that comes out for quite a while there. We had a really good green flag run going. It's still Mason Hannigan up front, and lap traffic was just about to be a factor too. So now clear sailing with, what, I think 5 to go or 6 to go when we get back to it. And this should be the one to go. Saw my buddy Jaron. Jaron's out of Indiana. He's watching along here. Yeah, Jaron, maybe we'll get in contact with Jimmy Barr, see if we can get a couple more guys in here. We need a little bit of invader blood once in a while. And then, yes, Brett Strickler does race here in real life. That same car, actually, here. Let's bring it up. That car right there. You can regularly see this car race at Lincoln in the real world as well. Alrighty, let's get it back going. 6 laps to go at the line. Mason Hannigan leads Tyler Schell, and we're on it. Jack Young, Brett Strickler sends it in for 4th. Will the inside line prevail? It does not. He stays in P5. Schell tried the inside, tried to see if it would work down low. Mason Hannigan feathering it into down the front stretch and into the corner, trying to keep some grip in it. Schell does not have anything for him. Jack Young right there behind him as well. Strickler trying to keep it tight off of the 4th turn. Will he slide? Szerzynski, no, he can't get in line. That's a battle for 4th and 3rd and 5th. And Cole DeWeese is in the picture now, too. 3 laps to go up at the front. Hannigan has a 0.8 second lead. 0.8, not 8. Second lead over Tyler Schell, who won last night. Szerzynski going to try to slide around Jack Young. It works, but Jack Young's going to feed it back to him and jump up in line. Brett Strickler trying to take advantage as well. Yellow flag is out. It's going to all get invalidated as a result of, I think, Michael Sheridan. Let's try a replay. This is Andrew May. Oh, and it's Tenorelli, actually, who gets it sideways. Let's one more time back. Doink. That's Bryson Haw that he makes contact with. And the two of them go around in the corner. And May does get a piece. And that is going to be the end of that. Not too bad of an accident, really, but it does bring a yellow out with... We're going to have 2 laps to go at the line. All right, hold on to the edge of your seat. Now it's going to get interesting. Mason Hannigan is going to be the leader over Tyler Schell. Alex Szerzynski has moved himself to 3rd place. Then Jack Young, Brett Strickler, Cole DeWeese, Ken Baum Jr., Nathan Davis, Ryan Scheidt. That's the top 10. 2 to go at the stripe. And let's get it. Excuse me, 1 to go at the stripe. No, it should be 2 to go. Yep, 1 to go. Timing and scoring a little late there. 1 lap shootout for Mason Hannigan with no contact, no question. Mason Hannigan is going to win the 2nd race of Virtual Speedweek over Tyler Schell and Alex Szerzynski, who get into it after the fact. The rest of the field comes around, so it was a 1-lap shootout at the end. That the guy from Pittsboro, Indiana, will invade and take it in the 1X car. How about this guy, Mason Hannigan, as he brings it to Dean's Auto Plaza Victory Lane, and he can't get it to turn. These cars have reverse in the virtual world of iRacing. And pulling it into Victory Lane. Not a good camera angle. Not a good camera angle. Not a good camera angle. Let's go chopper cam. And he skips out. We'll bring him back onto the screen here. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Now we can give these guys a second to jump into the Discord here. They're going to pop themselves into the queue for interviews. This should be Mason Hannigan, Tyler Schell, and Alex Szerzynski. Let's see who we can get in here, if any of them can get down. Not a good camera angle. Not a good camera angle. Not a good camera angle. We're kind of just stalling. And we've got them, so let's bring the first of the three. We've got our winner with us, Mason Hannigan. This is Joe Donahue. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mason, that was pretty easy for you. You didn't really have much from anybody competing with you. You seem to have Lincoln on lock tonight.
Yeah, we weren't bad. First race back in about, I don't even know, 3.5 weeks. So it's just a testament to our boys at Black Diamond. They've been putting in the time, and I've been away, so it's good to be back, and it's good to be with the boys. And I think after this build, everybody kind of got back together, and we're just working. We're working back to how we used to be, and we're gonna get there. So it's good tonight to come back straight to a win, and yeah, we were good, man. I can't thank Nate Davis and all the guys at Black Diamond. We had the setup on rails tonight, and everybody else on Black Diamond too. We just needed to probably cue in a little better and have a little more luck in the heats. But it was a really good night for us.
Yeah, so a little bit of luck goes a long way in those heat races, but the luck doesn't pay as well as good cars and skill. Now, I'm curious if you think, because we really didn't see lap traffic come into play, it seemed like Schell might have been gaining a little bit on you when we were getting close to it. Do you think that lap traffic, if we hadn't have had that late race yellow, do you think that would have changed the way things were running for you, or do you feel the car was on rails itself?
Yeah, no, I ran the bottom as soon as we got the traffic just to try it. I felt like I had a big enough gap. I couldn't really hear anybody, and obviously no mirrors. It's much more realistic, and it's a lot more fun. So I just I tried the bottom, and I slipped the tires really hard when we got the traffic, and I think I heard them down the back straightaway, and I just knew, I was like, man, it's not there. And then the caution came out, so it was either we were gonna go caution there because I saw the crash, and then if he wouldn't have went caution, he'd probably slid me getting into 3. But honestly, I know how I am in traffic, and if I can get through traffic good, then I'd be fine. But that caution there kind of saved us. I don't know if it would have hurt us or not. It's just kind of how it worked out.
And on the final piece of that, with everything tonight, you've come back, you're swinging for the fences. Are we going to be seeing you come out for the 4 races we've got next week? Are we going to expect to see this 1X car competitive as we round out Virtual Speedweek next time and to the end of it, I should say?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'll be here for the last couple of shows. It depends on where they're at and when they're at. I'd like to go to the million, so depends on if they run that night, and I don't know. We'll see. I may be going the whole 4 days anyway, so we'll just see. I'd like to run all the shows. Unfortunately, I missed last night. I'd love to have been there last night, but it was good to get back tonight and just get back in the swing of things after the car. It just got an update, I think 2 weeks ago. So yeah, it's good to be back. Right
on, brother. Well, yeah, that update changed things a lot, but you got it on lock, and your whole crew does. Anybody else you want to thank and shout out here? I know you already mentioned your team, but is there anything else you want to get in on this broadcast before we set you off to celebrate the win?
Yeah, I can't thank Ross Marant at Velocity Race Designs for the badass wraps that he's been doing for me over the past, I can't even remember now, 2 years I think it's been, and maybe a year and a half, but can't thank him. UDTV with Brett Wheeler and Tim Sims, Tim Nichols, and Joey Lingron Photography, and obviously the team and all them boys, and just good to be back.
As it appears with the victory tonight, congratulations, Mason, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you come out and try to get a couple more this week.
Thank you.
And Mason Hannigan, your winner tonight, son of Randy Hannigan, so he's got that racing blood in him. Second place tonight was, he's missing his front wing, too, after that contact at the end. Second place tonight is going to be last time's winner out, still a car number 1. Tyler Schell, this is Joe Donahue. You got a copy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, got you loud and clear, Tyler. Well, you have yourself a first place and a second place to start off PA Speed Week. That is not too shabby, my guy.
Yeah, tonight was pretty good. Just kind of had bad pill luck and had to go out late, but was able to win the heat race and started fun the feature and hold the position.
It seems that you've got everything on lock from the beginning of both of these nights, because I think I don't remember what the heat races looked like for you last time out, but they were good. Talk about what it takes for you to just get through a whole night at 2 different racetracks and 2 very different racetracks at that, and still be so competitive for both of them, be up at the front at the beginning and the end of both of those nights.
Just reading the track, get yourself comfortable, and just be able to, and just don't do anything stupid. It's a lot harder to make time up on this build, so you just got to be consistent, and usually if you're consistent and smart, you'll move forward in the features.
And in terms of moving forward, the big question that I have for you, talking about this race, the big thing that might have been able to help you that unfortunately a yellow stopped was lap traffic. Curious on your thoughts on if lap traffic had come into play, do you think you would have had a chance?
Maybe. You never know with lap traffic. Lap traffic could screw you. Lap traffic could help you. Just kind of never know the whole thing. It's a 50-50 shot of it helping you or screwing you. So, I'd like to say it would have helped me, but you never know. Mason, last 10 laps of that race, Mason was definitely the better car. So, hats off to him, and we'll come back Monday and see if we can get one better.
That's what we like to hear, Tyler. Well, thank you for coming out. Congratulations on another podium. Who do you have to thank and shout out for everything that's gone into this one car tonight again?
Yeah, just like to thank you for broadcast and everybody at the Posse League for putting this race on. That helps up SimSport and sponsors More Than Tires, Roofco, Paints by Tunican, and Trevor Mayer.
Absolutely. A phenomenal drive from you for the first 2 nights of this week. Championship leader Tyler Schell, congratulations again, my man.
Thank you.
And that is second place. And third place is going to come to us now in his first race of the week. Alex Rzinski in car number 23. Good-looking car, my man, and it looked like it was running pretty good for you tonight.
Yeah, Black Diamond's been pretty quick lately, and I mean, this is another night where we can showcase it. Wish I could have gotten by Tyler, but it just gets hard to pass at times once you get up against this, the pro-level drivers.
It definitely can be difficult on a racetrack like this. Talk about how narrow these corners can feel and be, and especially sort of at the beginning of the race. You didn't have a ton of cars you had to pass to get up there, but you had a couple cars you had to pass. Talk about how narrow Lincoln really feels for you.
Yeah, you really have to open your entry up if you're going to throw a slider to throw it across the entire corner. Otherwise, you're just going to drive it in too hot and you're going to smoke the wall most likely. So I know when I got by Jack, which thankfully the caution came out when it did because we were going to get ready to start sliding each other. I put him in an uncomfortable position. I made him think. I mean, it's nice when you don't have a mirror on, you can manipulate what, you can kind of screw with the other person a little bit and make them think, and they got to check up, and that comes to play. That happened to me in the heat race with Nate, and it's racing without a mirror, so it's a lot of it is due to what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and what you kind of sensing in a way. But overall, it's hard. it's not easy to be fast or run those lines specifically every lap.
Well, whether it's easy or hard, it keeps you on your toes, and you were able to do it tonight. Talk about coming out for the first time here with this virtual Speed Week tonight and having a run like this. Does it give you confidence? Does it obviously it's going to make you feel good, but talk about the confidence it instills in yourself and maybe the motivation it gives you to come back and try again next time.
Yeah, I'll be here for the rest of them. I should be. Yesterday, I usually run with you guys, and I just got caught up and I was busy doing some stuff, so I missed the start time. So I'm going to be here hopefully the rest of the week. I'm not too sure on what my schedule holds for next week yet, but should be here, and overall, I'm kind of mad because there's no one I want to beat more than Mason, and he's my teammate and he's one of my best friends. So, it just gives me that competitive edge that we're teammates and we're running up front, and we have something to build off of, and overall it's pretty cool.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, the guys you want to beat the most are the guys with the same materials as you. So congratulations, though. Third place in your debut for the week is none too shabby. Alec, is there anybody else you'd like to thank or anything you'd like to throw out there on the broadcast before we set you loose tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank everyone at Black Diamond Motorsports. We've been rolling here lately, and then Nate Davis, Totally Tinted, Ross Corinta at Velocity Race Design for the cool schemes, Tim Nichols at Tim Dirt Track Simulators. I know he's going to be at the Million next week, so if you guys are out there, make sure to check it out. And then Zach Rounds, Wraps and Tin, Brett Wheeler, Ultimate Dirt TV, and then all the PA Posse boys for somewhat adopting me.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, Alec. You're bringing good competition to the table, making it exciting for us to watch, and we'll be looking forward to having you back again to keep it up next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Also, thanks for the broadcast and everyone that tuned in. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
I am sure they did, because I enjoyed it very much, bringing it to everybody as well. It was a great night to be at the virtual Lincoln Speedway. Points are not quite updated yet, as iRacing will do them on our behalf, but Tyler Schell, with a first and a second, is very confidently the championship leader after the first two nights of the virtual Pennsylvania Speedweek. Next week will be when we pick up again. As we mentioned at the top of the show, a lot of these drivers either compete or partake as crew members or just are regulars at the dirt tracks in the central Pennsylvania area and at their own local dirt tracks. So we will be taking a pause over the course of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will return on Monday, July 10th, at USA International Speedway, which is not a real racetrack, but it will be mimicking the event at Hagerstown Speedway, which was the Wednesday night show of the actual Pennsylvania Speed Week. We will be going there at the same start time of 7:30. We'll be watching to see if Tyler Schell can make another podium out of it. Can Mason Hannigan go 2 for 2? Can somebody else, maybe a guy like Jack Young or Brett Strickler, two strong drivers, get there? That is the schedule, and we will take a peek at the final results of the race from Lincoln. Your winner, Mason Hannigan out of Indiana, Tyler Schell second, Alex Szerzynski in third. Fourth place on the running order, Jack Young, and rounding out the top five, regular driver in the real Lincoln Speedway Track Championship, Brett Strickler. Ken Baum Jr. held on to a nice run in the 22K. He ends up P6. Then Trevor Royer, able to get 7th, better than last night. Chris Fritz gets another top 10 for himself. William Hobart with a nice run, getting all the way back up in there. And James Tenorelli rounds out the top 10. Finishing 11th is going to be Nathan Davis, one of the guys from Black Diamond there. Bryson Haw finishes P12 in the 76 machine. David Smeal Jr. is going to come home 13th, and Ryan Scheidt ends up 14th. He was running a little bit higher up than that for a while. Finishing in 15th place, John Batista from Ohio in his first run with us. Not the best, not the worst for him, but he maybe could have got a little more out of it. Andrew May finishes P16. Cole DeWeese 17th. Something definitely happened to the 2D car. He dropped out with one lap to go or so. Jeremy Zarfos finishes in 18th place. Michael Sheridan 19th. Craig Dunn 20th. All the guys who had a rough night. Kevin Click finished 21st. 22nd was Ernie Williams Jr. 23rd was Benjamin Wirt. And 24th, Tyler File. Mark Broderick, Tyler Isley, and Corey Kerstetter. Not quite sure why they're showing up because they did not run in the feature race tonight. So as we said, we will be returning on July 10th live here on this YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification to make sure you're here when we go at USA to represent Hagerstown next time out. 6 races in this championship, 2 of them down after tonight, and 4 to go next week. Monday through Thursday is the schedule. We'll hope to see guys like Mason Hannigan here as he won come back strong. So I'm Joe Donahue on behalf of B-Blaze Vintage. Joe Donahue, 47 Technology, Matt Faust on YouTube, Jeremy Zarfos Photography, the iRacing Pennsylvania Posse, and their virtual Pennsylvania Speed Week. We thank you for coming out with us tonight, and we will see you guys again from USA next time.